Hey, what's up, guys? So, I'm Phillip from Honda Resource. Today, we're going to be, let's see, get this, trying to get all this stuff set up to where it's working right. So, I need to go up on my camera a little bit. This is the first time I've done one of these, so I'm trying to fill it out. Let's see if that looks good. All right, that's fine. So, um, as I said, my name is Phillip from the Honda Resource, and just going to start a new little thing, just a weekly thing called Question and Answer on Sunday evenings at 7. It may change from time to time. All the time, be pretty consistent to where you guys kind of know a schedule, and this will just be based off of the success of this Q&A. As long as it goes well, then maybe we can do this on a weekly basis. But if it doesn't go too well, then maybe we'll do it once a month or something. Maybe these stupid bugs leave me alone too. But basically, you just throw up a comment in the chat over here, and I've got my computer here, so I'm able to watch it, and then I've got you over here on the side on a separate camera, and you know you can go ahead and just comment whatever you want to comment, and we'll go off our questions from there and answer. And we may try a different streaming platform in the following weeks. I kind of got this idea from my cousin. He has a YouTube, so he does fishing, and they do like a question and answer or live every Saturday night. And platform called StreamYard, and you can kind of get multiple people on it. And so we may try that in the future. I don't know. We're just I've got it set up, but I still have a lot of questions about the usability of it. So I know this works, just a regular old YouTube live, and that's what I'm going to use tonight. So I guess we can do this for probably about an hour or so, and wrap it up around 8. I do have to work tonight, and I still got to get a shower, and I actually got a Honda Accord over here on my trailer to the side, and I got to deliver that on the way to work. So I got to leave a little bit early. I got to be there at work at 10, and I work down in Tuscaloosa. And if any of y'all are familiar with Tuscaloosa, about 35 miles or so from my house. So I usually leave about an hour early to get to work, and so I usually 9:10, something like that. So I leave a little bit early tonight, so that's why I'm wrapping up at 8. And if depending on the success of this, maybe roll tide. Maybe in the future, maybe we can do a longer version of this. Again, a lot of variables come into play on this, so it really just depends on how well this does. So, all right, guys. So, what do you guys want to talk about? Obviously, we have a lot of projects going on around the shop, and a lot of it hasn't been put out on camera yet. We do have the thank you, Adam. So we do have a lot of content on the way. I've recorded a good bit, but I haven't necessarily posted it. But lately, the CRV content's really been jumping, man. It's my content watched over the past week or so has been, or not the last week, about the last 2 to 3 weeks has been really good. I haven't been posting much content lately. I've just had a lot of other things going on. There's about 25 cars or something here right now, and I've been trying to get a lot of these cars done and just not necessarily filming them, but I have been filming some. We've got a S2000 here that we've been putting a K2 in. Cody has a Integra that we've been putting a K20A2 in. We actually just started on the Integra the day before yesterday, and it's mostly complete. We could fire it up today if we had fuel system stuff, but we're missing a fuel rail and that kind of stuff. So just waiting on that. All that stuff's ordered. Then we've got Eric's CRV here too. We got to finish it. We're putting a K24. It's a JDM K24A, which is the TSX equivalent. What are you talking about, the Sling project? Let me know what you're talking about. But we've got Eric CRV with the K24A, and it's got a K20Z3 head on it, and it's got a little B turbo on it, and it's a 6-speed second gen CRV, and we got to finish that up. It's really close. I mean, we got to do like some hoses, put the K Pro on it, and we got some Hasport mounts here. We're gonna put those on there, and then it's fairly close. And then once the Dragon is done, I'm waiting on the gear set to come back from Tall Pines Racing. I sent that out to be super finished. So it's basically makes it harder because I had to replace fourth gear, second gear, and a couple hubs on there. And then once all those come back, then I'll put the gear set back in the Dragon and then sell it. And I've actually got my next car here. What's up, Matt? What's up, dude? And yeah, Adam, thank you. Apparently, a lot of people love those CRV videos, man. That's it's really got me reconsidering the direction of my channel. You know, I mean, obviously, I still want to continue doing some stuff, you know, with my hatches and that kind of stuff. But but let me finish up where I was at, and then I'll come back to that, David. But once the Dragon sells, then we can get started on the next project of mine personally. But I don't want to get started on it until the Dragon sells. So, but David, other brands that I like besides Honda, I really do like GM stuff. I have a Cadillac Escalade. It's got the 6.2 all-wheel drive. And I've really been wanting to get a Corvette, but at the end of the day, this channel is the Honda resource, so I trying to stay something with a Honda to kind of stick around the Honda resource, you know. But yeah, so let's see. Let me read a few of these and see what we can answer. Okay, yeah, for sure, Matt. The Bass Brim and Beyond here, that's my cousin, or Brim Bass and Beyond. That's my cousin's channel that I was talking to you all about earlier. He's the one that actually got the idea of doing this streaming thing with and doing the live. And that's where I got the thing with StreamYard from. And I have it downloaded, and I've kind of done some like trial runs with it and stuff. But I don't know if it allows like super chat and that kind of stuff. So I'll have to look more into that, and maybe Matt knows a little bit more about that. But yeah, it's I've had a few other vehicles, like personally. Most of my daily stuff is Hondas because I find them cheap, you know, and cheaper the better. You know, I've got a 05 Civic Hybrid that I daily back and forth to work, and it had like 94,000 miles on it or something when I got it, and it was immaculate, really nice condition, and I paid like $1,400 for it. So, but yeah, I like some other brands. Like I said, I had a Ford Excursion before the Escalade. It was great on power, but man, that thing used so much oil, it was almost like a two-stroke. It was just, before the Excursion, I had a Toyota Sequoia. That's one of my biggest regrets is selling that Sequoia. We really enjoyed the Sequoia. I like Toyotas. I actually started out working on Toyotas. My first vehicle was a little 85 Toyota pickup, two-wheel drive, with a little 22R in it. And, you know, I grew up, you know, we had food and stuff, but we didn't have a lot of money to be out buying new cars and that kind of stuff. So, you know, stuff went wrong with my vehicle. I kind of had to figure my way out around it. And thankfully, I've had some good friends along the way, and they've really helped me out too. So I'd messed with Toyotas quite some years, and then my buddy Tommy Sweeney had a EG hatch with a GSR in it, and he's kind of the one that got me started with the Hondas. I started messing with his, and he also had a couple of hatches. He had that one and another one with a H23 VTEC in it. And started messing with those Hondas and really liked them. And but before that, I had like a Toyota Celica. Um, what are you doing, man? My wife's over here behind the camera acting a fool. Um, but it was a Toyota Celica. It was a '91 model. I converted it to right-hand drive. It had the JDM turbo motor, the 3S GTE. Granted, it was front-wheel drive instead of all-wheel drive, but it was fun. Um, let's see. I'm not sure on the wiring colors on those. If you want to send me an email or something, I can tell you. Uh, Unfortunately, I'm kind of tethered right here to this table, so I can't like to the CRV and show you. I've got probably 5 or 6 second-gen CRVs here. Let's see. So you got a 98 CRV and you're wanting to make it more interstate friendly. And just unfortunately, there's not a lot of options there. Yeah, those are nice. Just got to peek at the twins over here. Let's see. Got like I think 5 first-gen CRVs here, I think, and maybe 5 second-gens or something. I think there's like 11 CRVs here. We've got quite a few of them. But with the first generation CRVs, there's not much you can do as far as gear sets. You can do like the Speed Factory front wheel drive to all wheel drive kit to allow you to put in the front wheel drive gear set into your all wheel drive trans. But outside of that, there's really not much support unless you want to do like a PPG gear set or something like that. But as far as staying in gear set, there's not much you can do. That's one of the benefits of the K series. Because the front wheel drive gear set from K series fit right into the K series all wheel drive housing, so it's pretty sweet. So like on Eric's second gen CRV, it's K series, like I said earlier, and it was originally 5-speed, and we put a I actually put a whole gear set in that one. I've had another one up here before that I put a TSX6 in. But on Eric's, it was we put a whole 8th gen SI gear set into it. So it has a complete gear set from 8th gen SI. Let's see. Head gaskets on an 03 Civic. Awesome. Man, I tell you, every time I pull one of those heads off of the D17s, I just go ahead and take that to the machine shop and have them surface the head. And I've put one back on before without surfacing it. Well, I've done a couple in the past, like years ago, but I put one on one time and it was still blowing coolant out of the radiator. And after that, I said never again. And I just always take them. I never even check them or anything. I just go ahead and have them resurfaced and call it good. I don't really see Honda heads ever crack. I've seen that at some other manufacturers and stuff, but I don't really ever see them crack. So I don't really think that the cracking is an issue per se. Yeah, come on up, Eric. Come on up, buddy. But yeah, we did put LSD in it in Eric's CRV, the wave track. But that we were just talking about the gear, and that stuff. That's why I didn't mention that. Let's see. There's several other videos for the CRVs that I would like to record. Some other little common issues that I see, like sway bar end links, replacing those. And it is silly stuff or things that I think is silly that it seems like it would be super easy, but a lot of people have those issues and don't really know anything about cars. So where I know a little bit about these, and it just seems natural to me to be able to fix those things where somebody else may not be find it to be natural. So I definitely have some more things I need to record, and I just like a lot of times I have to remind myself to pick up the camera because being in front of camera is not natural for me. I've kind of gotten better um, over the years of doing this YouTube stuff, and I feel a little more comfortable in front of the camera. And it's kind of still weird sometimes, like looking at a camera lens to talk. But you know, when nobody else is around, and it's probably even more awkward, like when other people are around. Like in a minute when Eric gets here, I'm like trying to talk to him, and it's just weird, just me and him sitting here, like just looking at a camera, you know. But let's see, is it possible to swap the case from Element to a CRV? Yeah, you can definitely use the guts from the CRV and the Element. They do interchange, not an issue. Um, to use a speed sensor out of a CRV transmission. Yeah, you can just make sure that whenever you're doing that, you use the actual speed ring that goes on the diff out of the CRV. You'll need that to drive the speed sensor. Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward swap. On the Element, it reads off of the third gear. So I had a video once. I had bought an Element that had a differential or something. I think it's the final drive is what it was. Is the final drive, and I had my CRV guts from the transmission that's in the Dragon, and I just replaced the final drive and stuff from the CRV over. I just switched everything, and then I realized that it wouldn't work because the CRV third gear was a different size than the Element, and it was hitting the speed sensor. So I had to go back and put the Element third gear on there in order for that speed sensor to read. But yeah, you can definitely switch the guts, you know, one way or the other. Just if you're putting CRV guts in an Element, make sure you use the Element third gear so that it'll read properly on the speed sensor. But if you're going the opposite way, putting the Element guts into the CRV transmission is a non-issue. Just make sure you put that speed ring on the diff. Let's see. Yeah, and you know, like I said, Maxie, that's having them resurface, man, it's just cheap insurance. I mean, I think my machine shop is like $60 or something, and it's not worth my time to have to pull it back apart if it's still bad or something. So like I said, it's just cheap insurance. I just go ahead and drop it off, have it done, ready to go. What's up, Michael? All the way from New Zealand, huh? That's awesome, dude. I've had a bunch of people from New Zealand, man, hitting me up, like looking for parts and all that kind of stuff. Y'all apparently have a pretty big Honda community down there in New Zealand. Let's see. As far as torque wrench, man, the only time I really ever use a torque wrench is on engine internals. And I have people comment on some of my videos, like the other day, I think yesterday I had a person comment on my video where I did rear brake pads on like a 2010 Accord. And they were like, "Oh, this video is trash because you didn't use a torque wrench." And I'm like, "Okay." And literally, I can't tell you how many sets of brakes I've put on and never used a torque wrench without issue. So, I'm not like an ASE certified mechanic or nothing, but just kind of winging it out here. And most people who are going to be going to YouTube to watch a video about how to fix their car aren't ASE certified either. They're just trying to figure out how to do it in their backyard. And most people aren't going to go buy a $100 torque wrench. I have digital torque wrench here. I got a regular old clicker style torque wrench and all that kind of stuff. But as far as a torque wrench, yeah, usually the only time I torque anything is engine internals. I feel like that's a little more necessary. So, it is weird having clothes on. I tell you, sometimes, it's more natural for me to be naked. I don't understand. It's kind of a funny story. Like my underwear split on me today. It's actually the ones I got on, so my whole butt is like showing if I pulled down my shorts. It's quite comical. I need to buy some new undies. Let's see. Correct, on the digital converter, you can use the digital converter and just go off of the front speed sensor. But as you say there, Jeff, it's easier to use a CRV trans. Yeah. Eric actually had a EF back in the day. It had a SI cluster in it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, but that the SI cluster, I mean, it's electronic, so you just had to do a little wire and then use he was a B series car, so he had a B series electronic speed sensor in there, and it worked pretty well. Got a few mosquitoes and stuff starting to come out up here. Dang, Eric come up in here like a madman. This man coming here like a speed demon. Yeah, and I mean, I've seen a lot of people use torque wrenches on tires and stuff, and we're actually about to get a shop and have a legitimate business, and we'll probably be doing torque wrenches on tires and that kind of stuff too. But yeah, I think most people who wrench on cars and stuff really probably only do torque on engine components. I mean, I have several, huh? Twerk? Yeah, they twerk on the engine components. What's up, pimpin'?
What's happening?
So, yeah.
Gang, gang.
Oh, did it come? Yeah, it's a little bit delayed on this.
Yeah,
so,
I see that.
So, I don't know the best brand on the converter either. I haven't, I've never used one of those personally. You doing wall sits over here?
Yeah, I'm chilling. What up, fam?
I don't know if they can hear you because the mic's like right here.
Oh, gang, gang.
I don't really think that the uneven. I think that's just natural. A lot of those, a lot of pads are going to be uneven because of the way the piston comes out on it, and maybe just the way it's riding on it. I don't think that has anything to do with the torque. That's just my personal opinion there. I don't have anything scientific to prove it. But yeah, I guess we could talk about anything. It don't have to be about just cars. I mean, I don't mind talking about cars, but we can talk about whatever. It's whatever. So this is actually, I have a Rode wireless mic, and so like half of it's over there on my phone, or my old phone or whatever, and then the other half is right here. It's in my pocket, and then I just have a very old lav mic that is just wired to this, and it comes up to this. I actually have another Rode microphone that has like the little fuzzy cat or whatever, dead cat. Sometimes I use that, but I found that this setup right here is pretty good, and I'm not necessarily tethered to the camera. Like I can walk wherever, and like one day I did a test after I got this thing, and I walked probably 100 feet or something, and it sounded perfect. So it's with a lot of the videos that I do, I'm not always looking at the camera to where you can hear it. So like say if I turned like this and was talking to Eric, you wouldn't be able to hear it over here, to where now I'm talking this way and working on something or whatever, y'all can still hear what I'm saying. So it works out pretty good.
I had to take an earbud out, it's delayed.
Oh, you're listening to it on
there? I got y'all right here.
But yeah, it's probably delayed the same as this is.
Yeah.
So it has to go through and then come back out. Dogs and big sound systems. Man, I used to do a lot of car audio stuff back in like the early 2000s. Man, now I don't care, man. As long as it's got a radio to where I can listen to something going down the road. I'd really like to have like some Bluetooth or something, but it would be nice to.
You used to have a big wang.
Yeah, I used to have like a big wang gang, and have my subs in there and amps and highs, and now I'm deaf. Mm-hmm. Can't hear shit.
That's the truth. Call it selective hearing.
My wife says it's selective hearing, but I think it's meant. I didn't know that I had a hearing loss until I got in. Not until I got married. No, it's whenever I got my job, I had to take a hearing test, and I actually do have a high frequency hearing loss. Man, these mosquitoes are out soon. Yeah, the road stuff, it's a little more, but it's definitely worth the investment. I actually bought this wireless mic before I was monetized, so I had it for a while. I was watching videos on YouTube about how to like improve your channel, and One video I was watching, it was talking about, you know, if you have a video that has excellent quality video, but you can't hear what they're saying, you're more likely to click off the video because you can't hear what they're saying. To where if you have a video that has poor quality as far as the video, but you can hear the audio really well, you'll stick around longer. And it kind of made sense to me, so I went back and watched some other my old videos, and I couldn't hear it that well. So I was like, well, I need to make this investment for my channel. So that really, it did help. Now I went a while without using it, and sometimes if I'm doing something in real close quarters, I won't necessarily use the mic, but I try to use it because it really does help. It really does. Oh man, you lost this car in a divorce.
Oh,
That sucks.
man.
It was his first car, 95 Civic.
Oh, man. My heart goes out.
But my first truck was, my first car was a 85 Toyota pickup, 2-wheel drive.
Yeah.
And I had 2 of those, and then I had a 86 Celica, and then I got rid of that. And I've had like 5 or 6 different Toyota trucks, and then I got into the Hondas.
I think mine was a 94 EG sedan.
94 EG sedan?
Yep.
Sick.
Yeah, automatic.
You know,
It's purple.
I had one of those like the plum color.
Yeah.
Mine was a 92.
Yeah.
And I bought it. It was automatic. I put a Y8 in it, and then drove that for a little while, and then I put an LS swap in it, sold it to Cody, and Cody wrecked it into a ditch.
Yeah, that's Cody.
Yeah, I mean, I like music, like you said, you know. But I just don't. Now I find myself more listening to like sports radio and that kind of stuff.
NPR, man.
I don't listen to NPR, but I do listen
Dude,
to.
after DJing about 6 hours straight, man, talk radio is where it's at, man.
Yeah. I used to listen to. Well, I still some when I actually was out in a car.
That or Paul you know, can't go wrong with Paul.
Paul, yes, but sometimes like I hear a lot of background noise, like a shrill, and I don't. Yeah, it turns me off.
Y'all are so boring.
Would you shut your face? My wife is over here critiquing. Um,
If I had tits, I'd pull them out right now.
She was over here showing me her tits earlier. I was sitting here trying to concentrate, and she's over here like,
Oh, damn.
well, there goes the live stream. See you guys in a minute.
Y'all can connect to the OnlyFans page.
Let's see. Yeah, I've seen those little like the ghost boxes. Those are pretty sweet. Have you seen those? It's a little Bluetooth dongle. Pretty much, you unplug your radio.
Yeah.
And it plugs into the factory harness, but it has like all it is a Bluetooth unit, but it has like a built-in amp.
Oh yeah.
So literally, you get in and it syncs with your phone, and then
Goes straight to the factory.
It goes straight to the factory speakers,
That's
and
nice.
that's the only way that it works is through your phone. So otherwise, but
this is where I've been at.
yeah,
man.
but you can like put a radio delete in it or whatever, and
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah. So I think it's called the Ghost Box. I've seen a lot of people use them, and it looks like it works pretty
Man.
well.
I'll put that on my HF, man.
Yeah.
We had those back when I had an HF.
Yeah. So, what game is on tonight? I don't know. I don't watch NFL. I watch college football some, but I don't really, and I don't really care too much about college football no more because I worked for the University of Alabama for 6 years, and I had to mandatory work all the football games, and it just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. And I can enjoy it a little more now that I'm not working for the University of Alabama, and kind of get back into watching it, but I don't really get into NFL too much. I kind of follow some of the players from the University of Alabama once they're in the NFL because I actually met a lot of them, and I had kind of relationships with them, so I know them like on a personal level. Well, the thing about getting the Honda to the drags more is actually having the Honda together. It's just always a little nonsense. I mean, like this time, we were just out doing a video, and the fourth gear just shredded, and it's been kind of down since then. I put a stock fourth gear in there to make it up to a car show, but after that, I took it out and had to send it off, and it's been apart for probably a month now, just sitting out here empty.
Fucking big ass praying mantis right here, bro.
Oh yeah, sweet.
I'm looking for it.
That's a big fucker.
Yeah.
He wanted to join the channel.
Yeah, you see? Oh, look at him. He's just chilling.
He was up on the.
What's the one on Boosted Boy's name? Larry or something?
Mm.
Look at him.
Don't you kill him?
I ain't killing him. Look at him. Check him out.
We got a new subscriber.
A stationary camera. I actually have a Canon camera that I bought a while back. I think I maybe have used it for part of one video. Most everything that I do is either with a phone or I have a GoPro 8 now, GoPro 8 Black. The video quality on the GoPro 8 Black is outstanding. I've got a 7 and a 5 also, but the 8 is just light years ahead of those. LS1 Acura transmission. I don't know. I have to do some thought or some research on that. I hadn't. Have you ever heard of that? LS1 Acura transmission? I've never heard of that one, so I'll have to do some research on that. Upgraded CRV U joints. Man, outside of having a custom drive shaft made with like 13 some 1310 joints, that would be really the only way that I could see. Careful. That's the only really way I see that you can get that upgraded. Let's see. I'm trying to make some room. Let Eric slide in here. Let's see. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
All right. So, but yeah, it would be just the same 1310 joints that a lot of the people are using for their all-wheel drive stuff, just with a different drive shaft, instead of having a Vista scoupler in there, unless you're pinning and welding the CRV diff. Let's see. Actually, Steve, I actually had a lifted CRV. So if you check out some of my thumbnails, it's on there. It's a silver one. It's lifted with like some mud tires and roto grids, and it had an old man EMU lift kit on it, and it was all right. But man, that thing was a turd with those big tires. It was like all she could do 65, 70 miles an hour on the interstate, and it drank gas. Man, it was like 15 miles a gallon, and it was terrible. I wouldn't recommend lifting the CRV and putting bigger tires on it unless it's manual.
Yeah.
Or a second gen or something like that. I had a second gen with stock wheels, stock height, but I put some grabber, general grabber AT2s on it.
Yeah.
It rode pretty good. It didn't, bog it down or anything, but again, they were about stock size. I think they may have been like one size larger or something.
Yeah. See, I still don't know if I'm going up or down with the CRV. What do y'all think? We should go up with the CRV, down?
So Eric has the CRV that we were talking about earlier. It's a second gen CRV with the K24 with a K20 head. It's got the 6-speed trans, turbo, but he's undecided if he wants to lower it or lift it. So what do you guys think? What should he do?
Up or down?
So could be here says he has a CRV that's slammed and it's manual.
I mean, you can't go wrong with slammed.
Yeah.
You can't never go wrong with slammed. Then again, I like to eat a little bit,
Yeah. Speaking of yeet, we got a new one out here. I sold the, if any of you don't know, I had a Integra. It had a D16 Z6 in it, and we just...
How could you not?
We gave that thing hell out here. And I had a guy hit me up, and he was looking for a Z6 crankshaft. And I was like, well, I don't have a crankshaft, but I got a whole motor. And he wound up buying the whole swap out of it. And so the old Skeeter Yeeter, she's no more. The shell's still sitting down here.
We need to make a scrap run.
But I dug out the old EP3 that we had a while back. Well, we've had it for over a year now. And
I'm doing a YouTube channel.
I pulled it out and spray painted it orange. I put a picture of it on the community tab the other day. I spray painted it orange, and we're gonna call that the pumpkin eater, and probably do some more stupid stuff with it. I actually took it through the little woods trail the other day down here that I have, and man, that thing's got so much more torque than that D16.
Oh, yeah.
That thing's wild. But I got a few more things down here too. I got another CRV that we're gonna make an old beater into. It's currently a front wheel drive automatic, and we're gonna make it all wheel drive automatic with another motor and stuff. We've got all that stuff down here and another one that's wrecked. So we're just gonna swap all that stuff over to wheel drive and just make it a yard toy, woods toy, whatever. Use it to pull cars around here. But man, CRV content, it really jumps. Harness would be best for EF with a K20Z1. Definitely, I would say EP3 or a RS6 base or Type S, like a 02 to 04.
Mhm.
You know, because once you got to 05, they went to the drive-by-wire, and obviously a K20Z1 is also drive-by-wire. But what you'll probably need to do is get a RBC adapter, and then put a you're still using your RBC intake manifold, but going over to a cable-driven throttle body. So if you need one of those, I do sell those on my website, as well as a bigger throttle body and all that stuff too. My website, while we're on the subject of my website, I mistakenly changed the domain from one provider to another one, and that's go to the HondaResource.com right now. It's not working. But I did make a all right, Matt, we'll see you, buddy. I did make I still have a shop, but it's in my I put it in the description of some of my videos. It's like Shopify or like HondaResource.shopify.com or something. But if you need one of those, hit me up on my email or whatever, Phillip at the HondaResource.com, and I can get you taken care of there. Huckabee says, slam it.
Right, that's where I'm going then.
Maxie says he's a Jeep guy and he wants boats lifted. Oh, so he says he has a 79 Civic and he's swapping in a Y.
Donate a set of BFG KO2s.
I need some tires. The tires are expensive when you start getting into the mud terrains and all terrains and that kind of stuff.
I do still have the Mugen wheels with brand new tires off the Odyssey.
You still have those?
Yeah, I still have those.
Yeah,
so that's probably what's going to go on with a set of coils.
Yeah, so Eric had that Odyssey that been on the channel before. Somebody else had started doing a swap on it. They had it had H23, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, H23 was the VTEC H23. And it had a like a F20B transmission, right?
No, it had a
F20B manual LSD,
T2, T4.
Yeah, manual transmission. And but somebody else had started on it, and then he brought it to me, and I finished it up for him. But it had like some Mugen wheels and some other stuff on it. It's pretty sweet.
Nice little knickknacks.
Yeah, but like soon after it got tuned, a deer wrecked it.
6 days after the dyno.
Dang, I knew it was soon. But yeah, so. He's still got a few, like the wheels and probably some other stuff. I think he sold most of the stuff.
Most of the stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever I didn't sell, I gave to my buddies. So.
All right. So, what transmission fluid do you recommend for first gen CRV?
OEM.
OEM. And you can't get Honda fluid. He says lift it. He don't like slammed. If you can't get Honda fluid, you can use like Synchro Mesh. Or you can use just regular motor oil, like 10W30. I've had several come through here that I had to put motor oil in, and that was before Honda actually had manual transmission fluid. They used motor oil.
Yeah.
And I also sell manual transmission fluid on my website too. I have a wholesale account at my local Honda dealer, so I start carrying fluids and all that stuff. So any kind of OEM fluids that you need, oil, ignition fluid, dual pump fluid for the rear, pretty much anything like that you'll need, you can get it through my website. It's more than the dealer, obviously, but once I pay for shipping and all that stuff, it's cheaper than Amazon, but it's it's convenient. Let's see. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. I enjoy doing the first generation Honda CR-V videos, but obviously that's not what I was trying to make my channel. But sometimes we have to evolve with what's working and adapt and overcome. And the CR-V videos, man, they're really hitting. I was kind of surprised with Eric's CR-V video. I guess I need to make a better thumbnails for it, like when I actually get it back up here and start working on it again. Make some better thumbnails for it, because it's not a first gen, it's a second gen, but it's different, being manual and turbo and 6-speed, and not a lot of those out there. I mean, there are just a couple that we found, but it's not
rare,
something that's terribly common. And I guess maybe that's why a lot of people aren't seeing it, because a lot of people aren't doing it. To where, like with the CR-V first gen stuff,
all over the place,
there's so many first gen Honda CR-Vs, and so many that have some of the issues that I post and that kind of stuff. So they're common things that people will actually go and look for. It's getting stuck in second at the stop. It only does it when it's warm, not cold. Man, I don't know. Usually if I start having one that just has transmission issues, I'll try to change the fluid in it maybe once. And if that doesn't alleviate it, then I swap it out. I had a guy that was building transmissions for me. He's an older gentleman. He's probably in his 70s now, and he was rebuilding my Honda transmissions for me, my automatics, because I don't do automatics. And unfortunately, he got to the point with he has diabetes, and he just got to the point with his health that he couldn't do them anymore. So I've been just having to buy used transmissions and take a stab at them and hope that they're good. There is Jerry's transmissions up there in Hueytown, but he's expensive, but he's built a couple for me, and they've turned out pretty good. So like if I find something that's like on a second gen CR-V, the 05, 06 transmissions are extremely expensive, Like, so if I get one of those with a bad trans, I'll just take him to trans, and it's still, even with it being an expensive rebuild, it's still cheaper than buying a replacement trans, even a used one. I think the last one he did for me was for a Honda Odyssey.
Typical.
The second gen.
Those are typical for going out.
Yeah, they're the old V6 transmission.
They get hot, burn the converter up.
Yeah. So he did one of those, and as far as I know, that van's still smoking it down the road. Have I done a D16 turbo build? I have done some D16 stuff, but it's a long time in the past. I actually have one of my buddies. He's in the military. He's actually stationed over in Asia right now. And he has a car in Oklahoma. And it's a EG sedan that has a D16 turbo in it. It's a Vitara build.
Yeah, big boy choo-choo.
And it's got a Speed Factory no-notch rods and stuff in it. He actually built it when he was stationed in Italy. He had all the stuff shipped over there, and then he built it over there, like the engine, and then he shipped the engine back to the U.S. whenever he transferred back to the U.S. and bought a car when he got back to the U.S. and put it in there. But while he's gone to Asia, I'm supposed to be going and getting it and doing a K-Series all-wheel drive on it. He's got all the rear diff mount. I think he's got the trans and stuff already. He's got an engine.
Drive shaft, all that good stuff.
I know he's got a Vistas coupler. He may be getting the drive shaft from S1.
Yeah.
With upgraded joints and stuff.
That's what I need to do.
Yeah. So he's got a lot of the parts already, but that's actually the block that I have in my car was the one that he was going to use, that CSS block. I bought the CSS block from him. So I've actually got an engine down here, K24 I pulled out of an Accord. He wants to send that one off and have CSS put in it while he's gone. So whenever it comes back, it's ready to go. But yeah, that car is pretty quick. just for being a D16. As far as doing the synchros, man, it's just like any other D series. I don't have any videos personally on my channel for doing D series transmission stuff, but I'm sure there's some on there. I would just look Synchro Tech to get some synchros for that. I have bought a bunch of JDM engines from a bunch of different importers. I don't have my favorite. Eric actually knows who do you know?
Oh, I always go to JDM Orlando or JDM Tech down in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah,
those are my.
He goes to Florida a good bit. He has some down there, and so he goes back and forth. And I think the last motor I got, the Japanese motor, you actually picked it up for me. It saved me shipping.
F23.
Yeah, from my pawpaw's or van.
And then I picked up my K24 at the same time.
Yeah. So, but I've bought like from JDM Import Direct or whatever up in New Jersey and
Tiger JDM, HMO.
Yeah. HMO is good, but they're expensive, man.
I mean,
but
you get what you pay for.
Yeah, you do. I actually went and looked at a motor earlier. I got an EF over here. I picked up today. It's an EF hatch.
Yeah.
And it's
It's my flavor.
It was already K-swap previously, but now it's just a shell, but it still has the mounts and stuff in it. But this guy, he actually just lives like 15 miles from here, and he's got a Euro R swap.
Oh, CL5?
CL7.
CL7.
Yeah. So it's I got to get that and put in that. I got to figure out the mounts and stuff though because it's different.
Yeah.
So it's like rated for like 217 horsepower or something. It's pretty cool. But it came from H Motors.
Yeah.
It had a H Motors sticker.
Stamp on it.
Well, he had stickers and everything. He bought it off of Marketplace, and I think he said he gave like $3,500.
That was the one in Montgomery, wasn't it? Yeah. That was on Facebook Marketplace for months.
It's down the road.
Street?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's going in the cars
Small
here.
world.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Somebody said something about a biggest throttle body on a RBC.
Where was that? Let me see.
Right there. The biggest throttle body on an RBC.
Oh, the biggest. I saw,
SBS has an 80
Revline.
millimeter.
Jeff Revline up at Revline KC. He has a ported one. It's already set up for 80 mil throttle body, and then I think you can get the 80 mil throttle body from him.
Yeah.
And I think he said he only had one in stock. So if you're interested in that, you can look up Revline KC, REVLINE KC.com. And sorry, Steve, I missed that comment.
I caught it though. Had it ready for you.
Let's see. So he wants to know.
Salvage yard.
So really, man, honestly, to get the interior pieces, man, I would just hit up Pull Apart because they steady getting CRVs in. You know, they may not have any this week, but they might have some next week. Yeah. Usually, when I go to Pull Apart, there's 4 to 5 first gens there.
You might have to drive to Montgomery.
Yeah, and they got, you know, here in Alabama, there's 3 Pull Aparts. You got one in Montgomery, one in Birmingham, and one in Mobile. So, and there's a LK part in Huntsville.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So just, you can go online to pullapart.com or lkqpickandpull.com, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
And then they have inventory on there, and just check the inventory. There are a few salvage yards around Tuscaloosa, man, but a lot of their inventory gets stale, you know, and it's, I can't tell you the last time I went to a junkyard, and honestly, I hate it. I love going to the junkyard, man, but it's been a while. I just haven't had time to go, and, but I really, really don't know the last time I went to one in Tuscaloosa. That just, the really only ones I know of that might have something would be like Bama Salvage out there on Highway 11. Out in Cottondale, or golly, what's the name of the other one that's right down there on Jug Factory Road? If you go down past the Coca-Cola plant in Tuscaloosa on 82 and then turn right down there at Old Jug Factory Road, it's right there on the left. Pro Outlet, that's the name of it. That would probably be the only 2 places around Tuscaloosa that might have something. I don't really know of many junkyards around Tuscaloosa anymore. And speaking of, did you ever see that pick and pull that used to be in Tuscaloosa? Liberty?
No.
There used to be a Liberty pick and pull there in Tuscaloosa, and the guy that used to run it just died like last week from COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. He was like, maybe about 40.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and he
That
had
means-
two young girls.
Dude,
You know, and it
she
just
could take us out any moment.
yeah,
now,
it sucks. It really sucks when it hits somewhere home like that.
People your age,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
About there.
Let's see. Is it possible to use an all-wheel drive K-series transmission and use it to be all-wheel drive? Yeah, you can do that. You can like just leave the half shaft in the transmission side, so it'd be like the passenger side, and then on the driver's side, you could just get an axle stub, like the cup, off of it, shove it in there, just so the fluid's not leaking.
Well, they make plates now.
To make it rear-wheel drive?
Yeah, you could just block off the front.
Mm.
Yeah, they make.
Anyways, you could. I guess you could do the. I know the plate to make it just front-wheel drive.
Yeah.
I'm talking about making it rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, they make plates for the front that block off the front axles now.
But then you'd have to put some axle stubs in the outer hubs just to keep your wheel bearings from falling apart, because the axle is what keeps your wheel bearing together.
Yeah, you can do it.
But you could do it. I like he said, I wouldn't try it on a CRV because they're kind of heavy.
Yeah.
You know, and you would have to do something different with rear diff, because it would smoke that rear diff. If factory CRV, it would just annihilate the clutches in it.
Yeah.
So you could probably pin the clutches in the rear diff or something and use a CRV drive shaft without a Vistas coupler, and it's probably spin them over, you know. But it put a lot of stress for a case, and it's not really meant to do that. I mean,
handle all the power.
All-wheel drive EF components, and trying to figure out which one mounts the highest in the chassis. I don't really know. I know that Hub City makes an all-wheel drive EF component set for the rear, like the rear diff mount and stuff. But I don't really know a lot about the EF all-wheel drive stuff, so I don't really know what to tell you on that one. Would I consider doing a K-swap CRX on the future? Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Just finding somebody that has a CRX who wants to make a K-swap.
I mean, I do got a CRX.
Yeah, he's got his CRX here, but it's B20.
I mean,
and it's straight now, like
good to go.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna want to mess with it. I actually just went and picked it up yesterday from the alignment shop. So, like I said, I do have that.
Check it out.
It's not necessarily a CRX, but it's an EF hatch here that I'm gonna be putting the K series in. So, yeah, it'll be pretty nice. Let's see. The differential. Let's see. Have you seen an Odyssey on Fitment Industries?
I have not.
All right, we'll check that out tonight, because I haven't seen it either.
Yeah.
I'll write it down right here. Let's see.
Is that their YouTube page?
I don't know. I'll look it up though. I'm sure it'll come up.
Yeah. Google will inform us.
Yeah. All right, so I'll check that out tonight. And should you rebuild F23 off the Odyssey?
Just buy another one.
I mean, yeah, like he said, I mean, just buy another F23. It really depends on your budget, man. Because obviously you can do a K-swap on it. But a K-swap, man, you're going to get into some money.
Yeah.
You know, getting all this stuff to make it work. The actual Odyssey K-swap itself is not terribly expensive. But it's all the stuff to make the K-swap work. To where, you know, if you're just trying to put another F23 in it, you could get a JDM F23 for, you know, $300 or $400, and you'll be good to go.
50,000 miles.
Yeah, so that's what I did with my Pawpaw's van. He had one Odyssey that was burning oil, and we just got a JDM motor through in it, and it's honestly cheaper just to do that than it is to rebuild it.
Yeah.
It is so much more money than actually properly rebuilding it. Yeah, I mean, you could get some eBay parts and throw it together, and it may last, you know, 10,000 miles, 10,000 miles or something.
Anything and just slapping it together.
Yeah, so it really depends on your budget and what you want to do, man.
Yeah, hit up my boy JDM Orlando.
Yeah,
got you.
JDM Orlando. Speak to Jim. He'll take care of you.
Tell him your boy sent you.
I appreciate it. I think that I'm a novice mechanic too. I just may know just slightly more than the average person. But I've been doing this for 15 years, man. Just having to fumble my way through and figure stuff out. Used to we had a lot of forums and stuff back in the day.
Honda Tech.
And well, it's not that's contact, but like K20.org.
Yeah, right.
But a lot of those resources, I mean, you'd find actually good information. To where now, you have Facebook, and
Oh, man.
a lot of these Facebook groups is terrible. Like no, there's not no.
I'll tell you half of what's not right.
But a lot of the stuff, I mean, you could go through the forums and you could kind of piece together something and make it work based off of what you found on the forums. You might find a little bit of information over here, a little bit of information over here, and put it together and make something of it. But it was, the forums kind of died out once social media really took off.
It really did.
Let's see. I got somebody from Boston, Massachusetts. What's up? We're down here in Bama.
James, you're welcome.
Yeah. Let's see. So you have a
Boston. Bunch of wise guys. Your cousin from Boston.
Let's see. Getting ready to do a K20 all sedan. Yeah, it's not cheap, and a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people recently posting cars for sale, like on K20.org on the Facebook group, and they get crazy prices, like you were saying, but if somebody who hasn't built them, it seems crazy. But if you built one, you understand,
exactly.
Especially once you start looking and it's actually got legitimate good parts on it,
yeah.
name brand quality parts, and just like.
I got 10 grand easy in the CRV. That's not even finished. So
and
like a couple grand to go.
Well, like even my hatch, my EG sedan, I bought it as a shell, 1,000 miles away, and I paid like $4,500 for a shell with no wheels, no interior, no engine, nothing. I took my own wheels with me to put on it to be able to roll it onto the trailer.
A shell with a front end.
It was a shell with a 3-piece front end, but it's what I wanted, and it was very it was very clean.
Yeah, good starting point.
Paint job was pretty good. I mean, it's not showroom quality, but it's not your typical Honda. It's well taken care of. And so I went and got it. And a lot of people, they find out how much I paid for it, and like, oh my God, you paid that much for that? I'm like, yeah, that's what I wanted.
And the great road trip you and the wife had.
Yeah, we had a nice little road trip there. Back in the day, he said he remembers the turbo Hondas back in the day with the DSM injectors and FMU untuned.
Oh, smoking like a freight train.
I actually had an Integra GSR sedan that I traded for back some years ago, and it wound up being clean, but it was clapped when I got it.
Oh yeah.
It was in rough shape.
You painted it and everything.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I did everything: interior, paint, complete color change.
Yeah.
But before I got that car, it actually had a Jackson Racing supercharger on it.
Yeah.
And it had a
FMU.
It had an FMU.
That's how you did it back in the day.
That's how we did it, man.
Or if you had Honda to S200, you was doing things.
Or S100. There's a little chip.
Yeah. Well, the S200 was the same thing. It just had a blue box.
Yeah.
That you can control.
With a serial cable.
Yeah. That you can never buy the serial cable, by the way.
Yeah. But it's it's funny how times have changed, and people who are just now getting into it don't appreciate how available the stuff is.
You used to have to pay for extra features like launch control, and full throttle shifting,
and now stuff is so readily available. Yeah. Now, I mean, obviously we're in a little downtime right now because of importation of stuff due to COVID, but but as an overall, I mean, stuff is still way more available than it used to be.
Yeah.
He says they're JDM fraud. I've probably bought 25, 30 Honda motors from Japanese, importers, and I've one that had a issue, and it was a head gasket, and they gave me money back. So I don't really see fraud there, so I don't know what aspect of that you're talking about. But
and I always suggest, don't buy the motor until you are ready to put it in.
Yeah.
So it's got valve seals are shot and it smokes like a freight train. It's got a knock at. Yeah.
So basically, what he's saying is, don't buy until you're actually ready to put it in. Don't buy it and then let it sit for a year and then get ready to put it in, because they usually have like a 60-day warranty.
60, 90.
And it's, based off the time when you buy it and it was delivered. It's not based off of the time when you actually install it into the car.
Yeah.
So,
Always use a major credit or PayPal.
Yeah,
I use both.
Yeah,
Major credit card on my PayPal.
Yeah, the PayPal really helps too, because PayPal tends to side with the buyer.
Yeah.
But let's see. On the Dragon, it's actually open. I had a welded rear diff in it for a little while, and I hated it. It was always like popping and stuff, like when you turn. I don't do a lot of highway driving with it, but it was just annoying as crap, man. I put that open diff in it, and I have no complaints. I mean, it still bites hard. The only really difference that I notice is like when launching it on the street, it'll kick it sideways just a little bit because both of the rear wheels aren't pulling evenly. To where when it was welded, I mean, it was straight as an arrow, just dig and it would just go. But other than that, I mean, it still hooks really well on the street. So I say just leave it open. I am gonna I got an EK over here. I think I mentioned earlier that I'm gonna be starting on it once the Dragon sells, and I'm gonna try putting a Phantom grip in that. I've heard good and bad things about Phantom grips. I mean, but what are they? They're $20.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna buy the eBay.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like $20 or something.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's cheap.
Send it.
And just try it. I mean, what have I got to lose, right?
$100 rear end from the junkyard.
Yeah. But Felix, hopefully I answered your question there about the JDM engines being legit. Like I said, like we were mentioning, imported 25 plus at least, and I've had one issue. Yeah. So, all the way from Brooklyn, man. Heck yeah.
Brooklyn Zoo.
Let's see. Battery light comes on when you go. I mean, I guess with the battery light coming on, probably some kind of charging system error there. So you probably have to get maybe a voltage meter or something. Yeah. They make those that'll actually plug into your cigarette lighter, and it'll give you like a live readout of your actual voltage. So it'd be right there, where you can see it. So try getting one of those and see if that battery voltage dips down, and see what it says.
The voltage regulator and the alternator. I mean,
yeah, it could be that, but if it's that,
really know
it could also be a bad battery or something.
Yeah,
it could be a bunch of different things.
Low on water.
Yeah.
I've seen it all.
AutoZone says it's a voltage regulator. That's possible.
Yeah. That's typical. Very typical.
Steve said the Apexi SAFC.
That's buddy. That's tuning.
Back in the day when I had the Celica I was talking about earlier, it had the 3S GTE in it.
Oh yeah.
I had the SAFC and the
BAFC.
Well, no, the boost controller. Which one's the boost controller? I don't know, but I had both. I had both of those and the Apexi.
C does it.
Was it, or was it VAFC with the VTEC controller?
Yeah. Something
so
like
that. But anyway, it was Toyota. So it had the SAFC, and it had the Apexi boost controller, and then I had the Apexi turbo timer. Man, I don't see people using turbo timers anymore either.
No.
Back in the day, man, we used to all have our turbo timers and let it run for
keep running for 5 minutes after you park.
Yeah, it was funny. You get out and lock your car and it's still running, and it just shuts off randomly. Oh man. I was actually down here in the shop the other night, and I have an Apexi ground block, ground distribution. You know what I'm talking about? But it had a power wire and a ground wire coming into it, so it has like a little Apexi backlit little thing on it. So
it glows blue in the background.
It's red.
Oh, it's red?
Yeah, it's red.
Weird.
Yeah.
Everything they had was blue.
But all the wires, it's got 8-gauge wires coming off of it, right? So they're decent sized wires, and they all say Apexi on them. It's pretty cool. Yeah. It's old school there. I don't know how long I've had that thing. Yeah. Let's see. They said they were making Honda's Outrun V8s back in the day with head studs, block guard, DSM injectors, FMU, and boost lag and disco turbo. Yeah, man, it's gone so far, man. That Integra that I was talking about earlier, I actually had a Greddy turbo kit on it I had the 20G turbo kit, and it was okay at best. I also had I put a Jackson supercharger on it, but it was the LHT aftercooler on
Oh,
it, so it
yeah.
was upgraded version.
Tampa, Florida
Now,
aftercoolers.
now the LHT or the Jackson superchargers, man, they were so much more responsive than a turbo.
Yeah.
Like it was instant.
Yeah.
Like it just bam, there you are. But it just don't make as much power, you know.
No.
Like
what you get's what you
like
get.
with the EK, man, I really considered putting one of those superchargers on top.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Like people
Yeah.
put them up through the hood.
Yeah.
I don't. I want to make more power than that.
Yeah.
I mean, it would make good power and it'd be instant.
Coke, you
Yeah,
know, man,
yeah.
it's just
Well, I mean, you could put an aftercooler or
yeah,
like a, you know,
run a little
but-
meth injection,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some good fuel.
Was it the AVCR?
ABCR, yeah.
It was something. It was something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that, Steve. It was
Yeah,
something like that.
VASC is the B thing.
But yeah, I had both of those, and they were like, basically like, in the old Toyota, it had the double DIN radio and then the cigarette light or cigarette tray below it, right? And so I just made like a new plate there, and it had like single DIN radio in it. And then it had both of the. It was pretty cool back in the day, having all that stuff. People hop in, they're like, "Wow, this is a spaceship or something." But boost lag, yeah. But man, I'll tell you now. It's just something about hopping in it and hitting it full boost, like bam,
Yeah.
just right in your face.
I mean, you can always get boost lag with a bigger turbo.
Yeah. Let's see.
Love the sound of the turbos. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Don't need a radio.
You know, I've done much Honda stuff before I started a YouTube channel. It's if you look back on some of my videos, like way back, it was. I had some like videos like from where I did a V20 swap on a EG with a V16 trans, and it's like
yeah.
half the video is like vertical and half of it sideways. It rotates. What?
Thank you guys for joining the channel.
Hold on. We had an intermission there. My wife was griping at me. Where was it? Oh, but the videos, yeah, they rotated and stuff. And then I actually have a video on there where I did like a little pull in my H22 swapped Accord, like way back in the day.
That was good.
I had a 96 Accord that I put H22 A4 in it, full swap.
That was doing big things back then.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably... I actually traded that Accord for the Integra, the sedan. So it's...
Wait.
No, it's probably a little bit later than that. Probably like 2010, maybe something like that. 2010, 2011.
We've been doing it too long, man.
Yeah, I started messing with Hondas back in 2008,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Don't need a stereo with a good turbo.
You don't.
It's the sound of my people. But yeah, I need to record some people like in my Dragon once I get it back together. Cause that thing, man, it changed your whole perspective of fast.
Yeah. We need some boobies in there.
Yeah, I do. But I tried to find some. My wife even gave me permission to find some, and nobody volunteered.
No big boob showed up.
Yeah, so it's whatever. Let's see. Both of them had hormone balance are going bad.
All my chicks got gases.
Yeah. I don't really see a lot of them with a bad balancer. I mean, I see some of them like where they wobble a little bit or something, but
Kind of like a chunk.
but I've never seen them like come apart. One of my coworkers has an Odyssey, not an Odyssey, it's a Pilot with a 3.5 liter
Yeah.
6-cylinder, and her harmonic balancer actually came apart on it the other day. She
Yeah.
pulled into work and it came apart. I was like,
Didn't she just
wow.
get it replaced or something like that?
no, she had just had a new tensioner put on
That's
it.
what it was.
Yeah. Like literally the week before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So I had another harmonic balancer down here on a J35 I took out of an Accord, and I put it on there, and as far as I know, it's doing fine. But I don't really see a lot of them go bad. Chased an upstream O2 sensor leak. I mean, what do you mean by leak? I don't know on that. I've had some O2 upstream like
Replace the O2 sensor.
had to replace them because they're trash, but get a nice set of seatbelt harness for the passenger side. Maybe we'll get more volunteers. Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
you're right. I mean,
we live life a little dangerous
because
around here.
I've just got the regular old seatbelt over there.
Exhaust leak. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got an exhaust leak.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's like coming from the flange or something, or the bung, I don't really know. Outside of replacing the sensor, I mean, I've never really seen a sensor leak though.
Yeah.
So maybe you're just talking about the bung leaking or something. I don't know.
Sometimes they'll have a gasket that goes. I mean.
Yeah, a lot of sensors do have a little crush washer. But yeah.
You're gonna have to get us over there and find out.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna have to wrap this up here in just a second. It's
8:09 already?
yeah, we was planning just to go till 8.
We're just having a good time.
Yeah, time flies while you're having fun. But the Odyssey on Fitment Industries, and yeah, I usually as far as dyno goes, I've always gone through Jason Waters, with the exception of the last time when I went up to PFI, just trying to grow my channel.
I've done Jim at Motivation.
Yeah, he's been to Jim at Motivations
A couple times.
Well, Cody actually went up and talked to Jim the other day. Had some pretty good discourse. It was pretty good.
Yeah, Jim's a great guy.
Yeah.
So check him out. Here in Alabama.
But yeah, Jason's top notch.
Jason, great dude.
I have no complaints about Jason as far as tuner goes.
Top notch service.
Good
dude.
Yeah.
Killing the dirt track.
All right, guys. Last question is
Tampa Mike.
trouble. How do you troubleshoot an upstream exhaust leak? I don't know, man.
Listen for it.
Yeah, just
Smell.
get under there, and don't touch the exhaust. Put your hand around the exhaust, probably in close proximity, and just feel where the exhaust is leaking from. That's my really only recommendation.
You should hear it. You should smell it.
Yeah. Just take it to
an exhaust shop.
Just take it to an exhaust shop. They can usually find it pretty quick too. I mean, that's what you're looking for, but yeah, that would be my recommendation.
I'll be in Chattanooga in 2 weeks.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna hop off of here, and hopefully we can do this again next week.
Yeah.
Like I said, maybe we can try a different platform, or we can actually put more people on the screen.
Yeah.
In different locations. So, like, if you're not here, you want to get in, you can be like, different screens on here. So
a little commentary.
Yeah, maybe get some other people that want to participate, and we can just have a good time.
Have a guest every week, special.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get Jason out here, or Jim, or Mike, or.
All right, dudes. Well, we're out. See ya.
Gang.
Thanks for stopping by. Turn it off over here.